Hi, I get asked this all of the time. My top book recommendations, my top recommendations for when you start your own business, how to sort of enhance and grow within yourself so that you can then provide more for other people. So when somebody starts their own business, I highly, highly recommend it straight away. You get started with personal development. Now, I'd never actually heard of personal development until I got involved with my company, with my business. And my gosh, if I had known about personal development as a teenager, it would have saved a lot of very tragic years growing up. Okay, then I had quite a bad nervous breakdown in my early 20s following an incident in my life. And again, if I'd known about personal development, I wouldn't have spent 2 years literally housebound, never leaving the house. So personal development is basically working on yourself to just enhance who you are, to just improve yourself. So a lot of people want more confidence, and so you can do personal development to grow your confidence. That's personal development. A lot of people want to become, I don't know, a nicer person. They want to attract nice people into their life. That is all done through personal development. So it's growing on yourself. And a lot of people do some sort of personal development, but they don't realize they're doing it. So when you start a job, it's really scary, you're anxious, you're like, oh, and then you get better at the job and you learn more. That's like personal development, but you don't really realize it. But what successful people do is they specifically work on personal development. They don't just accidentally fall into it. They might do to begin with, but then they specifically make time to work on personal development. And this is something that I'm so huge about. And I've met a lot of successful people since I started my business, like a lot. And one thing that I've never, ever come across is a successful person who does not do personal development. So you might think personal development is not for me. That's fine if it's not for you. But unfortunately, I'm going to tell you now, you will not be a successful person without having the personal development, because what it is that makes people successful is the person that they become, okay? And people are drawn and attracted to successful people because of the person that they are. So you could spend your money on something that somebody provides, and if you really, really don't like them as a person because they're arrogant, they've got a massive ego, they might be sexist or racist, or they're just not a nice person, you're not going to spend that money into what they provide. Even if they provide the cheapest option, you're going to go somewhere else where somebody is nicer, basically. So personal development is huge. So you might think, I don't need it, and that's fine, but you need to cross off being successful in your life off your checklist, okay, off your bucket list. So if you do want to become successful and you want to become more, you absolutely can do. You can work on that. Now, personal development, you mustn't ever compare yourself to somebody else doing personal development, because it is very different for all different kinds of people. Some people have a good 4 or 5 hours a day to dedicate to personally growing within themselves. So doing exercise for themselves, like yoga, running, so they're dedicating that to themselves. Reading, listening to audios, doing meditation. So some people dedicate a lot of their time in the day to personal growth, and that's fabulous. And then there's other people that work full time, they've got children, they've got really busy lives, they're looking after parents, and they can only dedicate maybe 20 minutes a day to personal development. That is still amazing as well. You mustn't compare yourself to somebody that is able to fit in a lot more than what you are. Just be so wowed by what they're doing and be like, that's amazing, and then just recognize how great you are for doing what you're doing. So when I first started my business, I literally barely had a minute to breathe, okay? Literally, I've got children, I can barely even go to the toilet, okay? So it's amazing how long a busy parent can hold their bladder for, I swear. And so fitting personal development in for me was a real challenge, but I've managed to find a few things that fit in for me. So you'll be different, but for me, what I do is I wake up in the morning and I do something called the miracle morning, which is where you get up slightly earlier, whether that's 10 minutes earlier to an hour earlier, to make sure that you wake up because you want to wake up. You're not being woken up by kids like, have breakfast. You're waking up because you want to wake up. You're waking up in a calm environment. You go and have a wash and brush your teeth calmly without somebody like pulling at you and chucking toothpaste everywhere. You come downstairs or out the bathroom, wherever you live, and then you make your breakfast or make your shake, and you sit and you just think about what's going to happen that day, make your list of things you need to do, maybe implement a couple of minutes of meditation or longer, maybe read 1 or 2 pages of a book or more, and just do that just calm morning. Like the Miracle Morning book can help you do that in 6 minutes to an hour. So that's a really great way to cram it a little bit of personal development sets your day up, okay? Even if it is just 10 minutes, it sets your day up. Okay, then what else I do is make my children breakfast, and then when I go upstairs to do my makeup, I will put on an audio on my phone or some sort of recording on my phone and listen to it while I'm doing my makeup. So I'm doing my makeup, I'm listening to the audios or the recordings, okay? So then I get in another maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, okay? Then I will be in the car, and in the car we have audio CDs on, and my children only go to school only about 10 minutes away. So we're really training in the car for probably like 6 minutes, really. But again, I will have a CD on, and that'll be playing, and I might only catch a few minutes, but it adds up. Okay, so in a week that could be like half an hour, so it does add up. Even if you think, oh, I'm only in the car for a couple of minutes, it does add up, and you'll get like little nuggets of information. Okay, so then I cram that in. Then I'll do my appointments in the morning. So I always book one-to-one appointments in the morning for people to share about what I know about the product and the business, because obviously if we're not talking to people about this business, we're not actually growing a business. We might as well just have a clothes shop. So obviously, if your shop is open and you're growing a business, you need to be talking to people about your business and your product. So I book all of my one-to-one appointments in the morning when my little girl's at preschool, my other daughter's at school. Then I'm going to pick my little girl up at lunchtime. And if I'm there a little bit early, I'll sit and read a couple of pages of a book. And again, I've got the audios going around as well. Pick my little girl up and I come home and have a little bit of time with her. Then I do the school pickup, time with them. And then when I'm making tea, I'll stick on an audio again. So I'm making tea for, say, half an hour, 20 minutes, and cleaning the kitchen, washing up. And while I'm washing up and cleaning and cooking, I've got an audio playing, okay? So that's another half an hour put in. Then when they go to bed, then I start my work day properly. That's when I do most of my work once they've gone to bed about 7:30, a couple of evenings a week. And that's where I'll do all my online things, listen to my trainings, maybe try and read a chapter of a book, and maybe write a little bit of a training about it so I can deliver that information. And then when I then go to sleep, I will listen to an audio to fall asleep too. Okay, so I'm getting in little nuggets here, there, and everywhere. And in every single handbag that I have a book. And even if I just literally read a couple of pages, it's just getting that in. So I wanted to share with you some of my top books. So when somebody starts their business, I highly recommend, if it's network marketing, Don Failer, the 45-second presentation. Now, this book is fantastic at explaining network marketing. Now, if you have a business in the same company that I work with, we have a business with network marketing, perfect, and direct sales. Now, this book is not good for direct sales, and we have to have both with our business. We have to have a balance of direct sales and network marketing. We have two halves to our paycheck. We can't do one without the other, okay? So if we just did network marketing, which is teaching other people how to run a successful business, but we don't do direct sales, which is having a successful business, how are we going to teach other people how to run a successful business? So what network marketing is about is, imagine you are a hairdresser and you get paid for cutting people's hair, but you also can teach other people how to be a hairdresser, and you earn a percentage of the hair that they cut. You're introducing them to cut hair and teaching them what to do, but you're not teaching them how to actually cut anybody's hair, because you're not cutting anybody's hair. You're just telling them to start their own business. So network marketing is fabulous. This book is fabulous, but don't allow it to discount the other half to your business, which is direct sales. Because if you just followed this, you'd have a ton of empty shops, okay? So this is great for helping people start their own online franchise. Fantastic. But nobody's going to know what to do in their shop unless you have direct sales, okay? Now, direct sales, the book for that, which I don't actually have on me at the minute, is Eric Worre Go Pro. So those are the two books I recommend. This one for network marketing, Eric Worre Go Pro for direct sales. 2 books, 2 different parts of your business. And make sure people really understand that, okay? Right, then I would then say Jerry Rosenthal. This man is amazing. So I saw him speak in Arizona, and he is incredible. Okay, now he has this audio CD. You can buy all of this online. I think it's only about $200. It's nothing for what you get. Honestly, I would have paid thousands and thousands of dollars what you get, or pounds. This CD has 5 CDs in about the skills to building your business. So it's got how to actually meet people and bring up what you're doing so that they want you to book a coffee with them, an appointment with them, to tell them more. It's got how to do a one-to-one, how to overcome objections, and then how to help a new consultant get started. And then it's got a question and answer session. This is incredible. 5 CDs in there. And it also comes with this CD, which is more to do with personal development than skills. So you've got skills, you've got personal development. So this is about changing your mindset, developing $1 million winning image, and it's all about mindset, really. Absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend Jerry Boysenthal. Highly recommend that you get those audios, those CDs. Really fantastic. Okay, right. Also recommend the 4-year career. This is book or audio. This is an audio, but I do have the book as well. This really helps explain about how network marketing is an effort-based business. It's not the type of business that you can say, well, I want to earn loads of money, but I don't want to have to do anything, because you're not going to get anywhere with that attitude. This helps explain about how you do have to work really hard, but the great thing is you only have to work really hard for, say, 4 years, but cram in the equivalent to having a 40-year career. Now, I'm not suggesting for a second that you work for 40 years and then do nothing, because why would you? If you can teach other people how to become successful, why would you then do nothing? Well, you wouldn't. So I'm just trying to find the charge for my laptop. It's just flashed up that the battery's running low. I can't seem to find it. Anyway, it'll be fine. Okay, so that crams that 4-year career, that 40-year into 4-year career. So that's fabulous. So I highly recommend that. Okay, next one, failing forwards. You're going to have to come to a point where you're going to have to accept that you are going to make mistakes. Okay, so when you make mistakes, you just need to accept that it's just part of the parcel. It just is just what happens with this business, and it's just the way it goes. Okay, the quicker you can just accept about making mistakes, the better you're going to be in your business. Oh, there's the charger. I found it. I'm not going to die now. There we go. Yes, that's on. So Failing Forwards is a fantastic book or audio about accepting that, yes, you feel uncomfortable. Yes, you might feel a bit silly and a bit embarrassed and a little bit not what you used to, but to get what you haven't got, you need to do or become what you're not. Okay, so Failing Forwards has been my absolute go-to book when I have to remind myself that I'm about to do something I've never done before and I feel sick, feel uncomfortable, and then I read this and I think, fail forwards. And when people ask me for my biggest tip, I always say, make the mistakes. Go out there and make the mistakes. You know, to double your rate of success, you need to double your rate of failure. So go out there and just make the mistakes and learn from it. Okay, the more mistakes you make, the more you're going to learn, the more successful you're going to become. So Failing Forward is a really great book if you're the sort of person like me that is a bit of a worrier, a bit uncomfortable, a bit uneasy, a bit not sure of yourself. So Failing Forward, highly recommend that. Again, that's audio or book. Right, Rich Dad Poor Dad is all about, this is actually the cash flow quadrant, but it does have quite a few books, but this is actually my favorite one. Rich Dad Poor Dad, the cash flow quadrant, is all about how there's only 4 different types of income in our world. So there's working for somebody else. Oh gosh, I shouldn't have just volunteered that information. Now I'm going to have to test myself. So yeah, right. E for employee. So you're either employed by somebody else. You're working for somebody else's dream, basically, or you're self-employed, which is where you're self-employed, like hairdresser or lawyer or podiatrist. Someone's self-employed, which means that, yes, that's fab that you're not working for somebody else, but you literally are dependent on you working. If you don't work, you don't get paid. Then you've got a business owner and an investor, okay? So this book goes over about how network marketing is the safest and the most, most substantial, the most concrete form of having an income come in. And this book really helped me understand network marketing, because I'd never really heard of it before. It really helped me understand that income, how important that is in your life and to leave behind for your family as well. So Rich Dad Poor Dad, massively recommend. Right. Going back to our 2 halves of a paycheck, direct sales is all about helping people become clients. There are thousands and thousands and thousands and millions and billions of people out there that have skin and they eat and they drink. And there is a massive percentage of those people that are looking for something better. Okay, there aren't many people, I'll probably say less than 1% of people with skin and that eat and drink that are 100% satisfied with what they have going on. Okay, so it's our job to introduce people to the information about Arbonne, because it helps so many people when they know that information, whether it's for sun lotion, for hair care, for skin, makeup, nutrition, all these different things that in every household, if you think right now of all the houses on your street alone, 99% of those houses, there is somebody in them thinking, oh gosh, I've got such dry skin on my hands, on my feet, on my face, on my nutrition, I've got IBS, I've got this, I've got that, I've got that. They are looking for the information to find something better. And you have that information, but we get so hung up about it. We're like, oh, I can't tell somebody about Arbonne. They think I'm going to sell to them. Like, I've been there. I know. I get it. Okay. So you just have to get over it and give people that information. And the best book I've ever read to get over myself and stop thinking of myself as like a salesperson was this book, The Sales Bible. It's very thick, but it is brilliant. And it just helps you learn about actually our version of salespeople is quite a negative version. And we think of salespeople as people that are trying to sell us something that we don't need or want. Once you read this, you get into your head that actually a lot of people do need and want things, but they don't know where to find the things they need and want. And it becomes your job to provide them with the information. They might say no, and that's okay. And this book goes over people saying no and being okay about that, and them still being loving you, them still thinking you're absolutely amazing. All you're doing is providing information. And I can honestly say, since I read this book and I got that into my head and I stopped feeling like the word selling was a bit icky, and I actually started to think, do you know what, I'm actually making a real difference to people's lives here, like telling them this information. I cannot begin to tell you now how many things I get sent through the post, like cards from clients, flowers, chocolate, jewelry, all different kinds of things. And I don't expect it. I do what I do for nothing. But what I get back from people that are like, they write me cards and they'll send me things. I'll be like, because of you, my little one's not up in the night screaming, itching in pain. Because of you, my husband's not doubled over in pain with stomach aches. And because of you, like my headaches, I feel better. And they are so grateful that you've given them the information to maybe look at a product that's got a 6-week full money back guarantee anyway, if it doesn't provide the solution they're looking for. People become so grateful. Okay, so don't forget that. And that book really helps. That will help you build up such a huge amount of clients that just think you're absolutely amazing, because you're just helping give them information that actually they really want and need and are looking for anyway. Okay, next up, personal development. So working on yourself. Okay, so Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, T. Harv Eker, I always talk about this. This guy is phenomenal. This book changed my blueprints. Okay, so we all have some sort of blueprint. So imagine you are a computer and it's programmed, and the computer's programmed to do certain things. When we grow up as children, we are programmed like a computer. What we see becomes our world. And if we see things that really we probably shouldn't really have seen as children, then that does become our world, and that is our blueprint. So if you're constantly seeing negativity as very normal, that is your world. You don't realize that you are negative because that's just normal to you. Okay, you actually think that positive people are a bit annoying, a bit weird, because negative's so normal to you. So the fact that someone can be happy and positive is actually really alien to you, and that's to do with your blueprint. And I was there, I was exactly the same. And this book goes over understanding your blueprint and understanding why you think the way you do. So if you think, oh, someone's really rich, and you think, oh God, they must be an arsehole, that's to do with your blueprint. And this goes over it, okay? And it helps you change your blueprint and change your way of thinking in that way. So a lot of people have had blueprints put upon them growing up that actually don't serve them in life. Actually, they end up attracting not very nice people into their life. They always seem to have bad luck follow them. They always seem to have bad things happen. They're always late. They've always got stuff going on. Nothing ever turns out right. To do with your blueprint. This book goes over how to change your blueprint. Really recommend. Off that, Shad Helm's letter, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, and The Power of Neuroplasticity. Both really similar books, and again goes back to that blueprint as well. But these books really help transform how I think about things. Okay, coming up to the end now, I promise. Okay. Becoming a key person of influence. As you're growing, you're going to start attracting more people. Okay, you're going to become like a magnet. The more you know, the more people are attracted to you, because you know the things that they want to know. So you're going to become a key person of influence, and that's going to feel a little bit, ooh, you might feel a little bit like a celebrity almost, a bit like, oh my gosh, and people are going to be flocking toward you and attracted to you. This book goes over how to deal with that, okay, which is really, really great. It's lovely, really great book. And if you're not having people attracted to you, this is also a great book to have that added into your life as well. So that one by Daniel Priestley. And then lastly, as you're becoming a leader in your business, you're going to need to know how to be a leader. Okay. So my favorite books for being a leader are Big Al's How to Build Network Marketing Leaders. Okay. There's volume 1 and 2. Now, these books are so easy to read. You could read it in probably like 2 hours. They're a really easy book to read, and it's transformed how I have perceived myself as a leader. Because I used to think, how can I lead a team? I don't really know what I'm doing. I can barely lead myself. I don't really know. But actually, these books have helped me see that although I don't feel like I'm exactly where I want to be yet, I'm still further ahead than really where I was 2 years ago. And to accept that actually I am a leader. I am. And it's okay to sometimes think, do I know the answer? It's fine to feel that way. But read these books because it helps so much with becoming a leader and growing. And if you have one person that is looking up to you, these books are great for that. Okay. So those are my top tips with personal development and growth within yourself. I hope that you can go onto Amazon and order all of them and get started going through them all, because they have literally transformed my business. That's just a fraction of the books I've read in the past 2 years. I've actually read probably about 100 books, and it has made such a difference to what I attract into my life. And I see a direct correlation between what I read, how often I read, and the QV coming into my business. And that might sound a bit strange, but I swear in the past 2 years, every time I read more, my QV becomes more. Always. It just seems to attract its way in. And so yeah, just read more. Just fit it in. Stop making excuses and just get it all in. So I hope that's been helpful. Thanks for listening.